So I'm going to review question 8 from the practice quiz. This is a problem where you need to solve a quadratic inequality. And in doing so, you probably will have to use the quadratic formula, although you could get away with graphing this one. In either case, the first step would be to bring the 14 over to the other side of our inequality. So we'd end up with something that looks like this. X squared minus 7x minus 14. So we're subtracting 14 from both sides of the inequality. And for right now, we will just set the quadratic equal to 0. And this is right where if you want to graph it, you can graph x squared minus 7x minus 14. Or in this case, we're going to use the quadratic formula. So when we use the quadratic formula, we're going to identify our a, b, and c coefficients, remembering that with the coefficient of a is 1, so I'll just put a 1 in there, and then we're replacing a, b, and c in the quadratic formula with the values that we came up with from our inequality. So it's x equals the opposite of b, or negative b. So in this case, I'm just going to write out negative, and I'll put a parenthesis, and then put the negative 7 inside there. But ordinarily, I'd probably would just recognize that it's the opposite of negative 7 and write it as a positive 7. And I'll do that in the next step. So b squared is negative 7 squared minus 4 times a, and a is 1, my parenthesis, times c, and c is negative 14. And this is all over a, and a is 1. Okay, so they're going to simplify, and x equals 7 plus or minus the square root of negative 7 squared is 49. And negative 4 times 1 is negative 4. And negative 4 times 14 is 52. So we're going to add 52 to 49. And right here, when we take the sum of this is the reason that we don't have any, we couldn't factor this, because we're going to be taking the square root of 101, and there's no perfect square there. So if we want to clean this up a little bit, it would be x equals 7 plus or minus square root of 101 divided by 2. And when you take the square root of 101 with the calculator, you get 10.04 or 10.05. So when you're solving this, you're solving the following problem: 7 plus 10.05 and 7 minus 10.05, all divided by 2. Okay, and that's how we get these values up here. If you look up, we get negative 1.62 and 8.62. And those are what you're going to be setting up on your number line. So I showed you several times in class how to plot these on the number line, and then this breaks up your number line into three distinct areas. So if we plot 0 here, our negative 1.62 will be right here. And positive 8.62 we'll put over here. And you're really just looking for where are my solutions to the left of negative 1.62, between 1.62 and 8.62, and to the right or greater than 8.62. And I always like to just use 0 every time just to see where our solution lies. And if I replace 0 in our original expression, 0 squared minus 7 times 0 is 0. So you're talking about the expression 0 is less than 14, which is true. And since 0 is between this point and this point, we would indicate our solution. I'm just going to switch colors right here for a second, as looking like this. So we're looking at all at values greater than negative 1.62, but also less than 8.62. So that's why for number 8, our solution is D.